and then we will have some questions on the distributions. So just a recall, we have discussed the Bayesian theorem. Okay? And the formal definition of the Bayesian theorem is this, where probability of B given A is equals to probability of B given A into probability of B divided by probability of A. Yeah, this one, this. Yeah, so this is Bayesian Bayes rule. Clear? I think you have, I think you remember this. Clear? And we have some questions on this. Okay. So the first question is, write a program. I think it is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. So write a program finding out a patient's probability of having liver disease if they are an alcoholic. Okay. And the data given is being an alcoholic is a test. Okay. Past data tells us that 10% of the patients entering your clinic have liver disease. So if you can say this is event A, so this is P of A is equals to 0.10, and where A is what? A is an event where patients having liver disease. Okay. 5% of the clinic patients are alcoholic. 5% of the clinic patients are alcoholic. So you can see second event, that is B, alcoholic. Patients is an alcoholic. So this is 5%. So you can see this is event B, 5%. That means 0.05. Clear. And sorry, you might also know that among these patients diagnosed with liver, 7% are alcoholic. So what is given here? 7% alcoholic, and it is diagnosed with liver disease. So that means P/A. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
You among those patients diagnosed with liver disease, 7% are alcoholic. 7% are alcoholic, and we have taken event B as an alcoholic. So that means this is P of B, and given what? It is liver disease. Liver disease means A. So P of B given A. That means this one is 0.07. Clear? So just put in the formula, and we will have this P of A slash B. So you need to write just a Python code here. So you can do this. I will discuss the second question. Then you can do all of them together.
So we have to do this assignment today, or there's a deadline for it in
Uh,
the upcoming week
you
or something?
need to complete this today, but I will upload this on LMS. And if you are not able to complete it today, then you can submit these assignments up to a given deadline. So I have
Okay.
given a deadline, I think. Submission through use. I have not given, but generally on LMS I will set some deadline. Generally 1 week is given. So I will give you 1 week time, and in that time you can submit. But try to
Okay.
solve in this lab.
Okay.
Yeah. So first question is clear. Now the second question. The second question is, now we are having binary. And since we are having two assignments today, because in the last lab we were having a holiday due to the 26th January. Okay. So the second is that is based on the two class classification, you can say. So Bayesian theorem is extended to the two class classification. So let us suppose you are a financial analyst at an investment firm. According to your analysis of publicly available traded companies, 60% of the company listed in the NSE whose share price are increased by more than 10%. So the two things are given: 60% of the company share price increased by more than 10% in the last 3 years, replaced their CEO or whatever their head, replaced their head. So there are three things given. So just note the three things. First thing is the 60% of the company listed. Second is the 10% of the share price increased by more than 10%. Third thing is they are replacing head. We do not know which one is A, which one is B. So we will see. Okay. Now at the same time, only 35% of the company whose share price did not increase 10%. So they are talking about the 10% two times. This time 10 increase by more than 10%, this time not increase by more than 10%. So you can say this may be an event A, and this will be the event A negation of the event A. That means event A happened and event A doesn't happen. Okay, so this one, and it is known that the probability that the stock price grow this is again. Okay, and the same thing they have given, replaced their CEO or replace their head. Sorry, there is a typing mistake. Had, both should be head or both should be CEOs. So I will update this. Okay. So this will be the second thing you need to note. First thing is the share price increase by more than 10%, and second thing is they are replacing their head or CEOs. Okay. So you can see here, I have written here, you can say P of A plus. That means the probability that the stock price increase by 10%. Okay. P of B, the probability that the CEO is replaced. Okay. And P of A minus will be what? The probability that the stock price doesn't increase by 10%. This will be of P of A negative. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now in the question, they are given that it is known that the probability that the stock price grow by more than 10% is 20%. So it is given that the probability that the stock price grow by more than 10% is 20%. So P of A is 20%. That means 0.20. 0.20. Okay. And P of A minus will be what? 1 minus P of A plus. That means 1 minus 0.20. Okay. Okay. So this data is given. So don't confuse about this data. Okay. More than 10%, that is the event, and 20% is the probability. Okay. Now write a program to find the probability that the company fire its CEO. That means P of B will increase the share by 10% given P of A plus. What we need to find? We need to find this data. Clear? This is fine.
Yes, sir.
And see again,
Okay.
write a program that finds the probability that the share of the company that fire its CEO, they fired their CEO, will increase by 10%. So that means the share is increasing by more than 10% and they have fired that CEO. So P of A plus given B. B is what? This they have fired their CEO. So we need to calculate P of A plus given B. So we need to calculate this one. Okay. So this data is given to you, and sorry, this data we need to calculate. This is given to you. Okay. So just plug in this formula. Okay. We have discussed this in the class. Okay. What is the difference between the first formula and this one? In the first formula, in the denominator, we were having probability of B, but this time probability of B is replaced by this formula. Probability of B given A minus into probability of A minus plus a probability of B given A plus into probability of B. And if you read some textbook or some internet resources, so don't be confused. They have not used plus sign or minus sign. They have just used, instead of plus sign, they use just A. Instead of plus sign, they used A, or instead of minus sign, they use not A. A and not A. Okay, so don't confuse. So this question is clear?
Yes, sir.
So not
Okay.
100% clear for me.
Okay, I'm again
But you
discussing
can
this.
continue. I'll try reading it again. You can
Okay.
continue. If there's a doubt, I'll ask you after you have explained all
Yeah,
the
yeah.
questions.
Okay, okay. So I will copy paste these three questions in the chat box. So you can start solving, and after that I will upload on the LMS as well. Okay, so this is fine. This is fine. Okay. Now the next question is, or if you want to solve these two questions first and then try third one, then we can do that also. So which one is good for you?
So you can explain it once, then we'll start solving. If कोई doubt होगा, then we'll ask you.
Okay, okay. Okay, so the question is a little bit modification. So now that time, we just need to classify whether there is a spam or not a spam. Okay. So see, generally you receive an email. What Google does, based on the content of the email, he used their algorithm, machine learning algorithm, and then they have something to extract the content of the email. After extending the content, they have there some dictionary. So in that dictionary, they will cross check how many words are matching, that are related to the spam, that are not related to spam, and based on that things, they will calculate the probability. They will calculate the probability of an email having the content related to the spam, and based on that probability, they will classify whether it is an spam or not a spam. Yeah, so it is just an example of Bayes theorem, and not exactly Bayes. There are a lot of algorithms are there for spam classification, whether it's spam or not spam. So what we are doing here, based on the content, I'm not giving you the exact content, I'm giving you the probability here. But what in the real scenario, what is done here, based on the content of the email, we need to check how much content is related to the content of the spam, and how much content is related to the not spam. Okay, and based on that percentage, we will calculate the probability, and we will just set some threshold. Oh, okay, if probability is greater than 90%, then okay, this is the spam. If probability is less than 90, then it is not a spam, and it depends on us how much we will set the threshold. Okay, so in this question, I will see how much threshold I set here. We'll see here. So see, consider the following scenario. We receive an email. In the spam detector, mark it as spam. So we receive an email, and what does spam detector did? He mark it as an spam. Okay. What is the probability that it was spam? What is the probability that it was spam? Okay. And the statistical data is given below, but in the real scenario, statistical data is not given. You have to design your own statistical data. Okay. So whenever you learn machine learning algorithms, then you will see how you will design this statistical data based on the content. Okay. So assume certain specific, just a minute. Yeah. So assume certain specifics such as 2% of the email we receive is spam. Okay. So out of 100 emails we receive, 2 out of 100 are the spam email. First thing is this. ठीक है. Assume that spam detector is extremely accurate. So this spam detector is extremely accurate, and that when an email is spam, it detect it with 99% accuracy rate, that when the email is not spam, it will designate it as a spam with rate this. So just think what this want to convey. Just guess what it want to convey. 2% of the email we receive is spam. Okay, so you just say I think in the bracket I have written P is A is spam. So suppose event A is spam. Okay, so P of A, that means the probability of an email to be spam is only 2% out of 100 emails. 2 emails are the spam emails. Okay, so P of given is 0.02. That is fine. This one is fine.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now next, assume that spam detector is extremely accurate, and that when an email is spam, it is given that email is spam. It is given that email is spam. It detect with a 99% accuracy. So accuracy, I think maybe the event B, whether it is that the spam detector will be the event B. So it is given that it is spam, and it also giving you the 99% accuracy. So that means what? It is what? P of B slash A. If B are assuming B is the detector, B is the detector. So this statement is telling you what? It is given that it is a spam. That means slash A. It detect with 99% accuracy. That means P of B slash A is equals to 0.99. Clear? So this one I think is clear. Now next is, and when an email is not spam means A minus. Okay? A plus means spam, A minus means not spam, or you can use the not word. Okay? In the previous question, I used plus sign and minus sign. Here you can use A means spam, not A. Spam means not A, or you can use A plus or A minus. Don't confuse. Okay? So when an email is not spam, that means what does it means? It means A minus or not spam. It designated it as an spam with 0.1%. With 0.1%. So what does it means? It is given that it is not spam. So that means it is given it is not spam. So slash, what will be in the slash?
A minus.
Yes, A minus. So that means this one. P of B slash.
Not yet, sir.
Not yet.
Yeah, now it is visible.
Okay. See. So in the second question, just see in the second question, A is the probability that the stock price increase by 10%, and B the probability that the CEO is replaced. Okay. Now see, in this question they have given P of B is given in this question. See, first the data is here. Yeah. So 60% of the companies listed in the NSE whose share price had increased by 10% in the last year replaced their CEO. They replaced their CEO. Okay. So anything given regarding the probability of B in the sentence?
No, sir.
No. Now, second, at the same time, 35% of the company whose share price did not increase by more than 10% in the same year replaced their CEO. Again, they are replacing their CEO. Okay. and 35% of the companies whose price did not increase by 10%. So P of A, we assume increase share 10%. Okay. So in the first case, they replaced their CEO, and in the 60% cases, their share price is increased. In the second case, 35% companies share price did not increase, and they also replaced their CEO. So again, a P of B is not given. Now, write a program to find the probability. So we need to find the probability that the share of the company that fire its CEO will increase by 10%. This, suppose ये plus है, so we need to find this one. So P of B is not given here. So if suppose you know only the first formula, according to the first formula in the denominator, probability of B. So probability of B is not given, then you just think probability of B. I will add some space here. Probability of B is not given, just then probability of B is what? From the probability subject, probability of B when A into probability of A plus a probability of B less A minus into A minus. Not exactly this one. If you are having n numbers of data, n class, then probability of B will be this. P of B slash A1 into P of A1 plus P of B slash A2 into P of A2 plus P of B slash A3 into P of A3 up to P of B slash AN into AN, P of AN. So this will be your probability of B actually. So instead of discussing about the probability of formula probability of B, I have directly written this formula actually. Okay. So in the question, if a probability of B is not given, then just consider probability of B is this. Probability of B is equal to probability of B slash A1 into probability of A1 plus probability of B slash A2 into probability of A2 plus probability of B slash A3 into probability of A3 up to, and if there are n classes. In our question, there were only 2 classes, so we used A plus A minus. This is okay?
Okay, sir.
Yeah? Okay. In the class, I think I have a question in which we have 10 points as well. Let me check. Class lectures and lecture. I think it was 3. It was 3. See, in the lecture, I think I have uploaded this one. So for this is 2 class classification, and if we are having more than 2 class, we can have this formula as well. Okay. Fine.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I have some good programs as well, but I want to see how familiar you are with the Python and the things that is related to the data science and machine learning. So I want to show you a program where we will have some data set, and on that data set we will apply the inbuilt library function for the Gaussian classifier. Okay, so just complete it and then I will show you an example that I have already created. So in which I will show you we have taken some large data points, in not just like 2 or 3 data points. We will have some large data points, maybe 100 or 200 data points randomly taken, and then we will use a naive-Bayes classifier that is from the Python library, and we will see how it works. So just complete this one, then I will show you that also. Can I show you one example?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just I'm sharing my screen. Okay, I do not know how many of you are familiar. So see, we are importing a pandas library PD. Okay, because we need to read CSV file, so we are importing pandas library. So I am having a data set spam.csv, and this is my data set. Okay, just a minute. Okay, okay, so yes, this is my spam database. So you can see here we are having some messages like our emails. Okay, so these are the text here. Go until journey point crazy available and so on. So this is, suppose this is visible, or I need to zoom in. I think now fine. Okay. So we have some messages, and this message is a spam message, you can say, and this message is not spam. So this is spam, and this is not spam. Okay. So here it is not giving 0, 1 that we have in our questions that I gave you in the example. So instead of having 0, 1, they have given category whether it is spam or not spam, and also they have given you the actual message. Okay. So our goal is to use the inbuilt Python library and to check whether it is spam or not spam. Clear? So the question is clear.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So see, we are using first is I think there is a Gauss-Naive classifier is there, but we need to use multi-dimensional Gaussian Naive. I think it is visible from sklearn.naive import Gaussian NB. So Gaussian Naive classifier is there, and one more classifier is also there for multi-class classification, I think. Let me check. Okay, yeah, this one I think, multinomial Naive classifier. Okay, so I will show you in this example. This is smaller one example. Okay, so first thing is we have read this data set. Okay, using the pandas library data frame. Okay, pd.read_csv and my file name. Clear, and I have just see there some entries. Okay, df.head and group by. So I have some entries just here. So first 5 entries are there. Okay, these are the first 5 entries, and I just received the explanation what is inside this. So we have messages, we have categories. In the message, how many are there message? 4,825 are the not spam message, and 747 are spam message. Clear? and you can see, sorry, I will call letter frequencies 30 times. Please call our customer service representative frequencies 4 times. Okay. So this is just a description of the database. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what we will do, we will use Gaussian Navier classifier, okay, to classify them as an spam or not spam on the new email as well, or on the new message as well. Okay. So the first task is we need to convert this ham or spam into 0 or 1, into 0 or 1. Okay. So for converting them 0 to 1, what I will use, I will just add one column, df bracket spam is equals to df category dot apply, and we will apply this lambda function. Okay. So if this is spam, it will become 1, otherwise it will become 0. I think you have learned this in Python classes, lambda function. Okay. So df spam is equals to df category. That means this category, this column. Okay. And whenever x is equals to spam, it will become 1. Otherwise, it will become 0. Just apply this. Now, so you are having one more category. That means this category. This column, you can say we have one more column, that is spam, and it is equals to 1 where whenever a message is a spam message, otherwise it is 0. So this we have done with this column addition. Okay. Now the next thing in the classification is the splitting the data set into two parts. First one is the training data set, and second one is the testing data set. And it is not absolutely, we can say, how much percentage will be the training, how much percentage will be the testing. Clear? So generally there is a method that is called cross validation. So it will take 20% training, then 40% training, then 60% training, then 80% training, and then we'll check which one is giving the best results. Okay. So we are not specifying any percentage. So by default, I think it is 80-20 or 60-40. I do not remember. So it will, by default, it will split into two parts. First one, some data will become training data and some data will become the testing data. So we will check the shape here as well. Print x train dot sha. Okay, so this is our training data, and you can check, sorry. Okay. Train dot shape x test dot shape y underscore test dot shape. Okay, see. So this is the ratio you can see. This is our training data size. This is our testing data size. Okay, this is fine.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So total data is divided into two parts, training and testing. So we will use this training data X train, Y train, by train and X train. So by train means whether by train have only the 0, 1 values. I can show you this as well. What are Y values and what are X values? X train, and you can see the Y is having only the 0, 1. And X is having your message. Okay. So this is okay, whether to write in the same line. So you can see these are the 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. These are the y values. Okay? And these are the x values. These are the x values. Clear. So we have this training data and testing data. Okay. Now based on this training data and testing data, see in here we have taken only the message and this column, that is spam column. We have not taken the whole data frame. So we have not taken this category. We have taken only these two columns. Okay. So now we will use count vectorizer. Why? See, machine learning, we need to transform this data into some meaningful form so that our machine learning can use this. Just like in our example, we were having something data that is in the form of the probability, that means some numerical data. But this time we don't have any numerical data, so we need to use count vectorizer. So you need to study what is count vectorizer actually. I can show you here. See, count vectorizer, input content, encoding, whatever, convert a collection of text document to a matrix of token counts. So it will count which character is occurring how many times. Okay, and it will give you a sparse matrix. I think you might not be aware what is sparse matrix. Do you aware what is sparse matrix? Any one of you?
No, sir.
See, in this sparse matrix, we have a lot of entries as a 0 or nearly 0. Okay. So it is a topic from research or computer science. So don't worry, we don't need to think about that. Okay. So whenever we have a text message, then so we need to use we need to transform this text message into a matrix of token counts. Okay. So this convert a collection of text document to a matrix of token counts. This implementation produces a sparse matrix. A sparse matrix means a lot of entries are 0. Okay. If you do not provide a pro dictionary, these are some other things. Okay. Okay, so this is clear what count vectorizer means. What does count vectorizer means?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it will take our training data. So X values only. It will take our X values. Okay. Instead of writing here this, I can write here X train dot VA values. That will be more clear to you. Now it will be more clear, I think, or Y dot values. Now it will be more clear. Okay, these are the X values message and these are the Y values. Okay, so we imported this count vectorizer. Okay, count vectorizer, the scikit package sklearn. Okay, feature extractor. So there are some steps in the data science. First one, you need to collect. If you remember from the first class, we discussed the syllabus. Do you remember? In this syllabus, I told you data cleaning, data transformation, data normalization. Yes,
Yes,
hello.
sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So there was a step data transformation. Sometimes we need to transform our data from one form to another form. So you can say this maybe that step feature extractor. So we are extracting our feature from the given data, or we are transforming our data into some other form. Okay. So we have imported this count vectorizer. See, I also do not remember all the libraries from where they are imported. So we need to note down. So just to create a note, and where you can write all the libraries that are required in data science or machine learning algorithms. Okay. So count vectorizer, what is the purpose? You have seen it will convert the text document into the matrix of the token counts. It is a sparse matrix. A sparse matrix means a lot of entries are 0. So you can see I have plotted this here as well. Okay. So this count vectorizer b dot fit transform. So we are transforming our data just like a data transformation. These x values, that means our this text data will be transformed into a matrix of token counts. Okay, I'm just displaying only two entries. I'm just displaying only two entries. But only two rows, you can say only yes, or yes, I'm just displaying the two rows. Okay, I can display some more. I can say some more non-zeros entries are there. No. Okay, 100,000. Let us try. No. Okay, actually there is a dot dot, so we can't see them. Okay. Okay. So you can read about the sparse matrix. I used the sparse matrix in my PhD work, so I remember. Sparse matrix means a lot of entries are zero. Okay. So this count vectorizer is clear. So that means we have transformed our text data into the matrix of token counts. So these, you can see these zero zeros or some entries are the token counts. Okay. Now the next is the okay. The next is the, now we will import the multinomial naive Bayes classifier. Okay. There are another classifier is there, that is called Gaussian naive Bayes classifier, but the data is multi-dimensional. If the data is multi-dimensional, then we need to import multinomial naive Bayes classifier. I have one more example I can explain any other day, where in this example you can see here I have imported this only Gaussian naive Bayes classifier, because in this case our data have only two class only, or you can say the dimension of data is not too much, it is not too wide. Okay. So sorry. Yeah. So we have imported this multinomial naive Bayes classifier. Okay? And model is equals to multinomial naive Bayes. Achha, just let me know and how many of you familiar with these things? Any one of you familiar? I think Python all of you have learned in the first year.
Sir, we have learned Python, but not the this sklearn and multi
Yeah,
nominal.
okay. I know these are the new, so that's why you need to just okay. Next time, what I can do, I will note down some important libraries, okay, and I will try to explain them as well. One of them in all data science, you will see this sklearn. All the times you will see sklearn. Yeah. How sklearn use? You need to check whether naive Bayes classifier you need to import, or feature you need to import feature extractor. Okay. So sklearn is used most of the time. It is the most widely used library. I can Google and show you sklearn Python documentation. This scikit-learn. Okay, getting started, you can see, and you can have a look here. The purpose of this guide, sklearn is an open source machine learning library that support which supervised and unsupervised learning. So we will learn in our class what is supervised and what is unsupervised learning. We will discuss in the class. Okay. So that supports supervised and unsupervised learning algorithms. So they are used for machine learning purpose. Okay. It also provide a tool for model fitting, data pre-processing. If you remember, we use feature extractor. Okay. So that is again a data pre-processing. Before using that data, we are pre-processing this data. Okay. So feature extractor is we use. Okay. So this is clear what I want to convey.
Yes, sir.
Sklearn, scikit-learn, or scikit-learn the full form, or otherwise it is called sklearn. Okay. sklearn open source machine learning library support both supervised and unsupervised. What is supervised and unsupervised? I will discuss in the class. Okay, don't worry. I will discuss in class in detail. Okay. So it supports a tool like data pre-processing, model selection. So we were doing data pre-processing, feature extractor. After that, we will do model selection. After that, we will do evaluation. We will do these three things. Okay, we will do these three things. Okay, so if you want to see, I can show you this as well here. Just a minute. sklearn, sk. Okay, I need to run this. Just a minute. Oh, sorry, I have imported this directly. I have not imported the whole library. That's why this is not working here. sklearn. No, it will not work here. Okay. If you want to see, I will show you that. Import. Okay. Import sklearn. Import sklearn. Okay, see. So now we have imported sklearn. I will show you the available things in the sklearn. See here, feature extractor is there. Yes or no? Feature extractor. From feature extractor, we will have this text. Inside the text, we will have count vectorizer. You can see here. This is the whole thing. So we have just imported this one, count vectorizer. Okay. So sklearn is the scikit-learn machine learning libraries. Okay. They are used for supervised and unsupervised learning, data pre-processing, and model fitting, model evaluating.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, I already know TensorFlow. So, sir, can I do my works in that? Like, if you are giving us assignment. Okay, sir.
Yes. You can do that. Okay, so those who are familiar with the TensorFlow doesn't no problem. Okay, so this one is clear. So we transform our data, okay, into the matrix of token counts. First one, the data transformation, or you can say the pre-processing. Okay? After that, we have imported multinomial naive-Bayes classifier. Okay? Multinomial naive-Bayes classifier. And we will fit our data, fit function. So I will show you here model dot fit. What happened in this case? What is the input? Input is the array like sparse matrix, whatever. Okay. Sample bits return the offset. So it will fit our data just like in the machine learning algorithm, we are taking the training data. Using the training data, our goal is to create a model which will do our classification or whatever task we need to do. So that thing is already inbuilt here. Multinomial naive-Bayes classifier. So we just fit our data, that is training data, X train and Y train. After writing this statement, now our model have learned the email classification. So now we can test our model on unknown data. So we will test our model on the unknown data. Okay, so this is clear. This section of code is clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay. If this section of code is clear, then now we are testing this model. We are testing this model for unknown email, or you can say unknown message. So I have written an unknown message here. Okay, hey Mohan, can you get together to watch football game tomorrow? Okay, so I have taken two messages. First message is this one, and second message I have taken this one. Up to 20% discount on parking, exclusive offer just for you, don't miss reward. So according to you, first one will not be an spam and second one will be spam. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
So for what we need to do with this data, we need to transform this data first. Okay, how? This, using this v dot fit transform. So we will use this v, only the transform is also there. So v dot transform email. Clear? So now our email is transformed. I can show you this here as well. Just a minute. I will try to print this email. Email count, and you can see. So after transforming our data into the matrix of token counts, we will use this model. We will use this model, and we will use this predictor method under this model. Okay, and we will just pass this data here. So what it will give you? It will give you this by data. It will give you this by data, whether it is 0 or 1. So for this email, I think it should give 0, that means not spam, and for this email it should give 1, that means it is spam. But it is again a machine learning algorithm, so there may be some error as well. So we will see whether there is an error or not. Okay, so you can see here, yeah, this is our data here. Okay, so for first one it is giving 0, and for second one it is giving 1. So that means first one is not spam and second one is the spam. Okay, clear? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, if this is fine, okay, then now the remaining thing is that we have splitted our data into two parts, training and testing. So we can also test our model on this data as well. This is large data. The email that we have created, a dummy email for 2 message, that was a small data. There was only 2 rows. Now we can test on large data, this one, X test and Y test. Okay? So we will use the same model. Okay. So now we are having our X test data. Again, we need to transform this data. So we have transformed this data, v dot transform. So this is our new testing data. That is the matrix of token counts. Okay? And then we will check the accuracy. So model dot score X text count comma byte test. What does it means? By test that is already given to us. By test that is already given to us, and this is we have predicted. Okay. Okay, so just run it and see. It is giving you around 98% accuracy. Okay, so this one is fine. I just try to show you how the Gaussian classifier works on a large example. Okay, the example that I gave in the assignment was the small, and the data was exactly in the numerical form, that is 0, 1. Okay. For the last data, we need to use the inbuilt library. If the data is not in the numerical form, so we like email classification, so we need to use count vectorizer to transform our data. Okay. So according to, again, the question is according to the data we need to transform, not exactly every time you are using count vectorizer. Okay. So you need to explore, okay, what things are required and what things are not required for your program or for your purpose. Okay, so anything want to ask in this? Oh.
No, sir.
Okay, so how many of you completed the questions?
Sir, I have completed the first question, but in that question I have a doubt. Like I've taken 3 variables where the user can take input, it will calculate the probability. Like that we have to do it, right?
Ah, yes, I can show you the solution here. Just a minute. I'm showing you the solution as well, so you can cross check. Okay, just a minute. Okay, by test predict. Okay, just a minute. Yeah, so I'm sharing my screen. Okay, so this is visible to you? This is visible?
Not yet, sir. Yeah, now it is visible.
Okay. So the first question, I think all of you have done. The simple code, this is only just a 2 line of code. Okay, so we have a P of A, we have a P of B, and we have a P of B slash A. P of B slash A. Okay, so the result will be this one. First, I think is clear to all of you. In the second question, P of A is given, or you can say P of A plus. What is P of A plus? The probability that the stock price increases by 10%. This is P of A plus. This is given to us. Okay. And the second thing is given to us, and P of B is the probability of B. Okay. And in the question, the probability that the stock price increases by 10% given that CEO has replaced. So that means P of A plus slash B. This is required. Okay, this is question mark. So this we need to calculate. And what is given? The probability that CEO replaced, given that the stock price increased by 5%, I think in the numerical I have given 10%, so you can update. Okay, so you can use that data. So it is given P of B slash A plus. So P of A plus is given, okay, and P of B slash A plus, that is 0.60, this data. Okay, and next data is P of B slash A minus 0.035. Okay, these three things are given to us. These three things are given to us. Okay, now P of A is given, P of A plus. So P of A minus will be 1 minus P of A plus. I can correlate with the assignments. Assignments, I can open this. ये था ना अपना, you can see this P of A, then P of A plus, then P of A minus here. Okay, or this thing is given, this data is given. Okay. So we have all this data here, these three data we are having, fourth we have calculated, and we just pass all of them in a function, and using that function we calculated this. So just cross check your solution. It is just a 3 lines. This function just a 3 lines of code. Okay, so this is clear.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So just take a 2-minute break and ask me your doubt. In the first question, in the second question, okay, or in the email classification that I discussed, just take a 2-minute break, not too hectic. Okay, so I am waiting your response. Just think and ask me your doubts. Okay, no question.
No, sir.
If it is too hectic, then please let me know. We can have a 5-minute break as well. मतलब ऐसा तो नहीं है it is too fast or too slow or I need to slow, or I need to use some harder problem or some easier problem. Anything you want to suggest? That's Shruti Hers. Any suggestion?
Sir, I
No,
think
sir.
no, sir.
Okay, because it happens to me, matlab, in some other classes, not this. I have given some problems, and then after some time, student told me, sir, please give me some easier one. And in one batch, it happens that they told me, sir, give me please some harder problems. That's why I am asking, because first time I am teaching, so I do not know, matlab, how much you know and what you are expecting from me. So this is problem level is okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, ठीक. So now the second question is clear. Now the third question. Okay. So in the third question, consider the following scenario. B receive an email, just a spam detector. Okay. What is the probability that it was a spam? And this is the data. So assuming so 2% of the email we receive is spam. So that means P of A is 2%. This P of A. Now, spam detector is extremely accurate, and when an email is spam, it is given that email is spam, and it detects it with 99% accuracy. Okay, so P of B slash A means it is already given it is spam, or B means detection. Even B is detection. Okay, so P of B slash A is 0.99. And that when an email is not spam, it is not spam, so it is P of B slash not A, or you can say A plus or A minus, 0.001%. So this data is clear. This data is 0.99 and 0.001. Okay. If the probability of an email to be greater than if the probability that the email to be spam is greater than 90, then classify it as a spam classified. Okay. So we will calculate the probability of an email to be spam. Probability of an email to be spam we will calculate, and then check whether it is greater than 90 or less than, sorry, greater than 0.9 or less than 0.9. See, so in this above question, I just need to write a two lines, if else. So the same code works here. You can see the same code works here. Yeah, the same code. P of A plus is given. P of B slash A plus P of B slash A minus. इसका मतलब है ये P of B slash A plus. P of B slash A plus, and this one is what? P of B slash A minus. Sorry, minus. And this is what? P of A plus. That means that email is spam. That much it is detecting spam, and it is given spam. It is detecting spam, but it is not spam. The three things are given. Okay. Using this first one, we will calculate this one, P of A minus. A minus we will calculate, and we will use the same formula that is given in the notebook. Okay. What is the formula? P of B slash A plus, P of B slash A plus into P of A plus, that means multiplication of these two. Okay. P of B slash A plus into P of A plus, divide P of B slash A plus into P of A plus, sorry, P of B slash A plus into P of A plus, and summation P of B slash A minus into P of A minus, that is denominator, and just return this value. Okay. After returning this value, I just need to write a if else condition. If this result is greater than 0.9, then it is a spam, else it is not a spam. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the third question. Okay. So just complete all these three questions. And then I'm waiting. You can have your time and then you can ask your doubts. Okay, so you want to ask anything?
Not yet, sir.
Okay. So if it is okay, then I can discuss the next assignment as well, or we can have in the next lab. If you
Sir,
are
so
okay.
this when this assignment is due, the lab one assignment.
Uh, Actually, the lab one was on the 26th January, but due to in Republic Day, we didn't have any lab. So, but I gave you the 1 week time. So in the LMS, you need to upload next week, before next week.
Like on 9th February, right?
Yeah, yes, it is 9th February. I will show. Yes,
Okay,
9th
sir.
February. 9th
Okay, sir.
February and 12 a.m.
Okay, sir.
Okay. And I want to discuss the distribution assignments as well. But no problem. Next time I will try to cover the topic.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Anything that you want to say, matlab any suggestion, then you can personally WhatsApp me or you can message me. If you want, I need to add something or I need to delete something from my lecture or from my lab. So you can personally message me as well.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, then bye bye.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
sir.
sir.
Thank you. S, A minus, or you can say not A. So 0.001. Clear? Now this is clear to you. Till now this is clear. Okay. Now this I can use Word file, so I can use my pen as well, I think. Just a minute. Okay, so till now we have done till now. Okay. Okay, so the next is what? If the probability of the email to be spam is greater than, if the probability of an email to be spam is greater than 0.99. So what is it? Is P of A is equals to 0.9, I think. No. The email to be spam is greater than and classified. I think this is a threshold, I think. Okay. So spam the classified is not spam. So what does it mean? Not this one, sorry, this one. What does it means? This sentence. If the probability of the email to be spam is greater than this, then classify it as an event. What does it means?
Sir, I think it means that if the overall probability comes out to be greater than 0.9, then we have to classify it as spam.
Yes,
Otherwise,
yes, yes. So this is just a threshold. This is just we call this in data science or machine learning. We call this as a threshold. Okay. So we call this. So write a program to perform this classification. So we need to write this program to perform this classification. Okay. So I will write these questions in the chat box so you can continue. Or in case any doubt, I am here. Okay. So I am writing all the 3 questions. The first problem is this. Then we have the second assignment that is based on the distribution. So we will create our own distribution and we will use the Python library as well for plotting the distributions. The second question, and this is will be the third one. Okay, so I have uploaded the questions. You can start.
sir, in this assignment, like we have to take user input of event A, event B, like that, right?
Yes, yes, yes.